All right, Cheri, how are
Hey,
you?
Steve.
How's things?
Good, very good. The
Good.
sun is out. We're happy.
It is glorious outside. It is May 8th. It's an awesome day. We just had the MLS stats come out. For anybody who's watching this right now, who doesn't already know Cheri, you are one of the absolute best realtors in town. Specifically, if you are a real estate investor, you are also a genius in that space. We've learned tons from you over the last 3 or 4 years that we've known you. You're also a developer. So you've got your fingers in many different pots, which make you in my mind, an absolute expert in this space. For anybody who wants to reach out to a local expert in real estate investing or in the Victorian market, well, I think you work a little bit in Vancouver as well. What's the best way for people listening to this right now or watching this right now to get a hold of you?
Okay, so to reach me, the best way actually is to um, email, which is CCRAU, S as in Sam, E at shaw.ca. So that's C Crause at shaw.ca. Or you can reach me or page me through my office, which is 250-592-4422.
Awesome. Thanks
Easy.
for that because I know you got tons of value every time we talk. I learn
Yeah.
something new. And then if that doesn't work for you guys, you can just come to our next meetup, which is May 21st, and everybody will
Yeah.
be there, and you can learn a ton there as well. So let's dive into some market conditions today. And
Okay.
on the first, I don't know, Monday or something of each month, Victoria Real Estate Board publishes just the last month's stats and just a little article about what's going on. And the president of the real estate board for Victoria here quoted something like, "Our spring today is like awkward or unusual or not the norm." Can you elaborate a little bit on what that means and give us an idea of what the heck is going on?
Sure. Yeah, the quote was spring has been a non-traditional real estate market thus far. And so usually people think of a spring market as being a very robust, busy time with an increase in sales and everything going quite wild. But what's happened is our spring has been delayed. And I think part of that is, believe it or not, is weather. People react to the weather, and we had a very cold, drawn out kind of March and April. And the spring weather is coming now, and we kind of skip spring, and it almost feels like we're in summer. And what that's meant basically is that our activity has been down a bit. So and in April, at the end of April, we had 2,751 listings, and which is an increase of 13% over March. Sales wise, we also were up, actually. Our sales were up, number of sales up 8.8% over March. And so it's not a huge increase, but it's a bit. But our March was very draggy.
Hmm.
So we're just sort of seeing now, like in the past week or so, we've seen a lot more multiple offers again. We've seen um, delayed presentation of offers, which went away for a while. Now
Wow.
that's come back within a certain price range. Single family homes were up 3.4% in April. So the price of a single family home was actually up a bit.
Which is really
And
cool because
condo prices were up as well, although not huge, but we went up a whole 1%.
hey, up is up, I guess, right? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But overall, it's just been, delayed. So it doesn't look like our traditional, but really the past few years haven't been traditional in any way.
no, fact. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, seeing 30% growth at times is not usual at all.
No, no.
I find that really interesting that the volume on the market has gone up as well. But the interesting dynamic is that even though there's more supply out there, the price keeps going up too. Typically, when you have more supply, you get, yeah,
Yeah, I think part of that is people think, oh, they read and they go, oh, the listings were up 13% in April over March. We had 13% more listings, and they think, wow, that means we should be we should be seeing prices drop. But the reality is that our 10-year average of listings is more around 4,000 a month.
right.
So we're still quite below our average for the amount of listings. And I think one of the differences that I've seen this month is that, or started to happen around the end of April, is that there are more people again coming from Vancouver. For a while there, the pipeline really shrunk for buyers coming from Vancouver. They couldn't sell their houses over there. The market's picked up a little bit there as well as far as activity goes. And we've seen more of those Vancouver people going, yeah, we're coming. And I've had people who couldn't sell their place last year. Places are sold now. It's just been a better. So again, that's not quite what we would think normal.
Mm-hmm. But you make a really good point there, just being like, even though we have 2,700 active listings today, or give or take, that's still what, 20 or 30% less than what our typical market is over long-term historical data.
Yeah. So I think one of the things to remember about that is that, because even though our listings have been coming up, we're slightly moving into what we call a balanced market, where some people think that we're, moving into a buyer's market right away. No, we're not. Mm-hmm. It's just moving into more of a balance.
Which I think is great for everybody.
It is.
Good for people selling. It's still good for, us as investors, because it at least gives us a little bit more flexibility than what we've had the last year or two in terms of negotiating or finding, new inventory for new deals.
Yeah. Even though we've had a few multiple, we're getting back into multiple offers, they're not going stupid multiple offers. So they're coming in at list price, maybe slightly over, and they're coming in with conditions. We haven't seen the unconditional craziness. Okay. So it's just much more of a easier way, so just because you're multiples, don't say, oh, if it's a multiple offer, I'm not even going to try, because that's a guarantee you're not going to get anywhere. You don't know if you put it in. Some people have been quite surprised. So don't let it deter you from putting in. Just, you put in what you want, right? And it's either going to work or it's not. But at least if you try, there's a chance you could win. If you don't try, you're going to lose.
I'm so glad that you said that. I tell so many people all the time, every single day, just go make the offer. You never know. And, as, we come into the more balanced market, that just gives us a stronger position. And thank you for saying that is a lot of it is coming in at list price. Because a year ago, what was list price? List price was just a figure that offers would come in $100,000 above that, and it would just fly off. So us as investors, and for the people watching this, most people watching this are going to be on the investment side of things. What's something that we can look forward to or do over the next couple of months, through spring and summer, to just, maybe find our next deal?
Just keep being out there and watching and looking, building relationships with realtors who are going to find stuff. Building a relationship where you're at the top of their list to call when they do find something. Be ready to act when that opportunity presents. So make sure you have your ducks in a row. If you've got JV partners or a list, make sure that you've got people you can talk that will respond quickly. Because when the deals come up, you're not the only one looking for them, right? So if they do come up, chances are you're not going to be the only one. So you have to act fast in this market, I must say. You do. You see it, you move.
Yeah, that's been really important the last couple of years, is just being able to make that quick move. And if it's joint ventures, great. Have those people like on speed dial and ready to act.
Yeah,
you're doing it yourself. Just like have all your financing pieces, all your ducks in a row, like you said, to make sure that you can pull that trigger quickly. And then you can, if you get the accepted offer, you can then like remove a subject or two to make your offer look, stronger as you go through that process.
That's right.
Do your own due diligence. And one thing you said there that will help us as investors find that next deal is to get higher up on like your priority list as the realtor, and to build that relationship. What's like a newbie can do to build that relationship instead of just being on the bottom of that priority list?
So build the relationship, which takes a bit of time sometimes, right? It's going out for coffee, it's getting to know each other, it's to say, okay, Also for us, you know, priority wise, we want to work with people who will move, who are ready to pull the trigger, so that when we call, because if you're like, oh, I don't know, or oh, I won't be able to even look at this until the weekend or something, we can't wait until the weekend. So we're going to move down the list, right? So I think what it is by building that relationship, going out with coffee, being clear about what you want, sort of honing that in, I think makes a big difference for us as to are you ready to move, and how willing are you to make this happen.
Yeah,
right?
awesome tip. And
Yeah.
this comes back to just being able to act quickly.
Yeah. And just being willing to make some sacrifices sometimes, like, oh, I might have to miss a soccer game to go look at properties. Or, you know, we're not saying call in sick to work. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, you know, like, oh, you know, I was going to go out for dinner with friends, you know, and I don't want to change that. It's like, okay, then opportunities will pass you by.
Yeah, oh, totally. Like
when they come, you have to be willing to jump. And sometimes that's difficult, right? And you make that call, but then when you make that choice, don't regret it. Like, that was the call you made. That's what you did. Wait for the next one.
don't regret it, and use that for fuel too, because, you know, it's all about is taking steps forward, right?
Yeah.
You have to have that balance of, you know, what you need to take care of in your own life. But if you have this goal and you have this drive of owning either your first home, your first income property, your first development project, or your 10th, you know, you need to stay active and make sure that that's your core focus on what you're doing every single day to get towards that goal.
And it's not even sometimes that you have to be there or give up, like if you're having dinner with friends, but maybe you have to keep your eye on the phone.
Yeah.
And, you know, I can remember we were sitting having coffee in San Diego when we got a phone call about a particular property that we'd been waiting for. And when that call came, it was, we answered the phone, we go, yes, write it up. This is, you know, we had in between flight times to get it to me by this time, I can sign it before I board the plane.
Yeah.
And so when we landed back in Victoria, we had an accepted offer.
That's pretty awesome.
But it's because we knew what we wanted. So when it came, there was no hesitation.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
having that clear criteria of what's going to work for you.
Yes.
Let you save your realtor's time, your own time, and then my time as the buyer as well.
So building a relationship with a realtor is going to take some time initially, because you're going to only get clarity by spending time looking at properties. And that's really the purpose initially. And then once you have the clarity, you know, you're going to fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. So a couple of key takeaways were, you know, we're still in a fairly aggressive hot market, but it's to be a little bit more balanced. So make sure you're staying active out there. Make sure that you're building these relationships with key people like yourself, either via coffees or just, you know, communications, and to be able to act quickly when these things, you know, come across your desk. Is there anything else that you want to tell people on either the market or your business or anything else?
Well, that kind of sums it up where we're at. I mean, we go into summer and it's beautiful, and sometimes our tendency is to, we relax and we over relax sometimes, which is fine. You need to do that, which is why for me, right, I have to leave town to totally switch off. Because when I'm here, I'm always sort of keeping my eyes and ears open. So don't totally shut down. There's stuff that happens in the summer, and you know, what a great opportunity too, because there's tons of visitors that come here. Like, be out there meeting people. You don't know who you're going to meet. That could potentially be a JV partner. Real estate is a hot topic.
Yep.
And anywhere you go, you'll overhear conversations. So don't shut down over the summer.
Awesome. Real estate investing is like showering. You have to do it every single day.
Yeah. You just have to keep doing it, right? Yeah.
That's awesome, Cheri. Well, thank you so much. This has been very insightful for me. I think there were some really cool, like, little nuggets in this as well. If anybody wants to reach out to you, your like business is Greater Victoria Property Group. Yeah,
true. Yeah.
Phone number was beginning.
Yeah, and we'll see you on the 21st for sure.
Awesome.
Okay. See ya.
Thanks so much. Have a good day.
Bye.
Yeah.